Okay, let's continue and let's take a look at the last two types of transformations that we can apply to parent functions, and that will be reflections. So let's go ahead and take a look at the reflections about P of x. We can reflect it either about the y-axis, in other words, we're affecting the x variable, or we can reflect it about the y-axis, which means that we are affecting the y variable. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what you think these two actually represent. Now it says that if the parent function y sub 1 equals p of x, then y sub 2 is actually equal to the negative of p of x. What is actually being affected here? Are the x values being affected or are the y values being affected? Hopefully everybody can recognize that the p of x is really all the y values, so all the y values in this particular case is being affected. Now if all the y values are being affected, then that means that you're going to reflect everything about the x-axis, because that means that everything that is above the x-axis is now going to be below the x-axis, and everything that's below the x-axis is actually going to be above the x-axis now. So notice that is where the reflection is going to be if you want to reflect it about the x-axis. It's going to be affecting the whole parent function p of x. Okay, so if we wanted to go ahead then and think about the other situation where you're reflecting about the y-axis, then that means that the negative actually has to affect the x variable, because you want all of the positive x's to now become negative x's and all the negative x's to become positive x's. So therefore you're basically flipping it around the y-axis. And there you go. So this is, if you ever notice that you have a negative in front here or a negative associated with the x, then you know that you're going to have to do reflections either about the y or the x-axis. Okay? So there you go. Let's go ahead and again, let's see if we can work on those and take a look at some examples in class to make sure that we have a clear understanding of how reflections are, how we can transform parent functions using reflections. Okay? See you next time.